Asian Discovery Newscast.
Welcome to the East Asian edition of the Asian Discovery Newscast. I'm your host, Ethan Kim, and in this episode, we're going to talk about the current weather and news all across East Asia. First off, we're starting with Qingdao, China, from Grace Shi. Please come in, Grace.
Hi, Ethan. Grace Shi here, currently on the mountaintop of Qingdao. I can see the whole city from this point of view.
Really? I've never been to Qingdao before. Could you tell us what Qingdao actually looks like?
Sure, as you can see, Qingdao is a gorgeous city that is half surrounded by mountains. Downtown Qingdao has a great variety of modern buildings just like what you can see in New York City. However, the other part of Qingdao is pretty old compared to the downtown Qingdao. It has a bunch of European-style constructions with red roofs on it. You can also see pines grow everywhere here just as what it looks like in Germany. All these things are because Qingdao was the colony of Germany after World War I. It has been deeply influenced by Europe.
Wow, I wish I could go to this fascinating city one day. Could you tell us something about the climate of Qingdao?
Well, as a city that located by eastern coast of China, Qingdao has very temperate mountain climate with distinct marine feature. The air is always humid with abundant rainfall, and the temperature differences during the day are slight. Besides, the wind from Pacific Ocean blows Qingdao throughout the whole year.
Okay, so what is the weather like today in Qingdao?
It's already spring in Qingdao, so today is going to be a beautiful sunny day with a little bit of wind. The lowest temperature is going to be 43 degrees Fahrenheit, while the highest temperature is going to be 65 degrees Fahrenheit. It would be nice if you wear a t-shirt with a jacket on it.
Sounds like it is going to be a great day hanging out with friends.
Yes.
What do people usually do in Qingdao to make a living?
The advantages of rainfall and marine features, people in Qingdao made their living by growing crops, fishing, and beer manufacturing for many centuries. However, in pace with the developments of seafaring, people gradually found that Qingdao locates by Yellow Sea of Pacific Ocean. Therefore, Qingdao could become an important connection between Asia, Europe, and Africa. So people began building some garments factories and beer factories in the past few years, and then exporting the products to the world in order to make money.
Okay, thank you, Grace. Next up, we are going to Tokyo, Japan with our reporter, Robbie DeJulia.
Konnichiwa from Japan, Ethan.
Thanks, Robbie. What can you tell us about Japan?
Well, in Tokyo, the temperature changes a lot, even in the same season. There can actually be up to a 10 degrees difference in the averages for the month. Tokyo has a relatively temperate climate. It rains here, raining mostly in July, but it also gets cloudy and sunny.
Wow, that's a very wide range of temperatures. What can you grow there?
You can grow all kinds of different things, like rice, zucchini, peppers, tomatoes, corn, and asparagus. For fruit, you can grow apples, grapes, cantaloupe, and watermelons.
Could you tell us a little bit about what Tokyo looks like?
Sure. Tokyo is a very commercialized city with a lot of skyscrapers. It also has some very beautiful gardens and parks. It is very close to the ocean, while having some nice views and beaches, also causes typhoons and earthquakes.
Really? How destructive are the typhoons and the earthquakes?
While Tokyo's typhoons do cause some damage, it doesn't kill or injure many people. For example, Typhoon 11 killed 6 people and injured 26 people. It knocked down a lot of trees and some houses were destroyed. Earthquakes, on the other hand, do both. The Great Kanto earthquake, for example, had a magnitude of 7.9, and in some places the shaking lasted up for 10 minutes. It devastated Tokyo and it caused widespread damage across the Kanto region. Houses were destroyed and so were trees.
It seems like a lot of stuff was destroyed during the earthquake. We're going to have to turn it over to our next reporter now, to Chung Chang-gyu in Pyongyang. How are you, Chan?
Hello, Ethan. Chung Chang-gyu here. We're currently in a prison cell in North Korea, Pyongyang. Today's weather is very clear with 2 degrees Celsius.
What's the climate like in Pyongyang?
It's awfully dry and cold here in the winter with low percent of precipitation. It is often cold and dry in the winter and very hot in the summer.
Is it always dry throughout seasons?
No, it isn't always dry. Oh, no! There are droughts often. However, in July and August, it rains a lot.
Could you tell us where exactly Pyongyang is?
It is directly above South Korea and is surrounded by the oceans and mountains, but Pyongyang's landscape is flat, so there are many buildings and farms in it.
If it's surrounded by the ocean and mountains, that means a lot of animals could live there. What kind of animals and plants live there?
Many kinds of animals live here. For example, there are wild boars, leopards, cross foxes, raccoon dogs, brown bears, tigers, and seals live around the city. For plants, there are the rice, cabbages, and potato plants.
What do people usually do in Pyongyang to make a living?
Well, people in Pyongyang usually make military products like weapons, military cars, planes, maybe possibly nuclear bombs too. Also, they make machines for factories and stuff. There are a significant amount of farmers here that plant rice and cabbages. There are also a lot of tour guides near here.
That sounds frightening. What do people usually farm there?
People in Pyongyang usually farm potatoes, cabbages, and rice crops. These three are the main source of food for them. Well, I see guards coming to get me. Back to you, Ethan!
This is so fascinating. I do hope he's still alive. We're going to turn it over to another reporter, Miss Jacqueline Vicente, who is just below Chon in South Korea right now. Jacqueline?
Thanks, Ethan. I'm in Seoul right now, and I'm sure glad that I packed my raincoat. It's been raining for the past 2 days, a big difference from where I just was, Busan, South Korea, where it's cloudy most of the time.
I have only been to Seoul once. Is it like this all the time?
For the most part. It rains for most of the year, but people don't really mind it because the rain waters all the rice and crop fields, making plentiful vegetation.
So do most people in Seoul make their living by farming?
Actually, no. There are farmers who produce rice, but since this is such an urban city and extremely populated, most people take business jobs or transportation jobs. There isn't a lot of room for farming, vegetation, or wildlife.
Is that really different from Busan?
Very. Busan has very good conditions for growing rice and other types of vegetation, so there are plenty of fields and naturally grown food. It also has many types of animals living in its region, something Seoul doesn't have. Busan houses wild boars, red foxes, otters, beavers, and a wide assortment of seafood. Busan is less of an urbanized area with more mountains and the sea is bordering it. This allows Busan to live in a more traditional and rural lifestyle, whereas Seoul is very urban and modern in its layout, job offers, and production.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Well, this has just been fascinating. Let's get our reporters inside and out of the rain, and we'll call it a day. Don't worry about reporter Chon. We are pretty sure he's doing fine in some prison in North Korea. Don't forget to tweet us your favorite destination from this evening's show, and we'll consider making that a documentary for a 4-part special of Asian discovery. That's all we have for today, but tune in next time as we explore Northern Asia. Thank you all, and good night. And welcome to the East Asian
The lowest temperature is going to be 43 degrees south. Just sure, as you can see, Qingdao is a gorgeous city that is half surrounded by mountains. Alright.
Sounds like it is going to be a great day hanging out with friends. Okay, let's start again. That was. Oh, this is so fascinating. I do hope he's still alive. This has just been fascinating. Let's get our reporters inside and out of the rain, and we'll call it a day. Don't worry about reporter Chon. We're pretty sure he is doing fine in some prison in North Korea. He might be dead though. Don't forget to tweet on